All right, this is 1.5-year-old Clyde. He's a Cane Corso, maybe a Cane Corso mix. So he's very cute, I know, but that's not okay. Right here, we're going to show some beginnings of prong collar behavior, prong collar place, and he's not he's got his e-collar on, but we're not using it for this yet. So this is literally when I first put it on him and tried to do just some simple guidance techniques with him. Usually I do like to start outside, but it was too hot, so we started inside, which is perfectly okay. We can adapt, except I have a 1.5-year-old, 100+ pound puppy jumping all over the place. Please keep this in mind for like newbies, like maybe people who are new to my technique. This dog right here, he is simply being stubborn, trying to figure out what's going on, new stuff, new place, new handler, and he does not hate the bed. He's just being ornery. He was literally, while I was getting stuff together, he was plopped down. He was plopped down on this bed for probably like 20 minutes, passed out, no joke. So it's not like he thinks the bed is weird or is scared of the bed or nothing like that. He is simply being ornery and avoiding following pressure. This is a really common behavior that I see. Actually, the last dog I can think of that we went through the same thing was a 10-month-old Weimaraner that had a lot of similar issues that he has, except she was younger and much smaller. But the point is that this kind of thing is normal, but you can get all sorts of different demeanors. Sometimes the dogs will really kind of settle down and feel weird and not want to do anything. Sometimes they show that they don't want to do stuff by jumping around or avoiding, like him. You just don't get mad. I have not taken audio out of this, so I'm not saying anything, really, very little. I'm just doing some guidance, and eventually I'll just kind of get to a point where he knows I'm not going to give up, and he'll just start to follow it. Now, it's also hard for dogs being on leash in the house. That's weird. He wants to go outside. So it's weird to follow instruction like this in the house on leash, because it usually makes dogs excited. They want to go out. So that's what we're just doing here, is I'm just teaching him to follow pressure. I mean, that's really all this is. He's not tuned in with me yet, so I'm not even giving commands yet, right? All I'm doing is helping him follow pressure. That's it. And just calming him down. That's all this is. So I wanted to show some of the fun antics in the beginning, and then I'm going to go forward. I'm going to go forward and show how quickly he settles down. It was literally 15 minutes later. But you can still see he's got like a little hop in his step. I actually don't want that unless I'm just working for fun, for food, and it's really exciting and we're doing this just to play or for exercise. Unless I'm doing it for that, I actually don't want a lot of jumping. The whole point of this is to help him calm down, so he'll listen to me more, use his brain more, still hopping, and not have to be spoon-fed so many commands, and stop going after other dogs, as well as stop dragging me to pee on everything. That would be nice too. So that is why we're just really doing all these things to slow his brain down. And that's really all this is about right here. And then we'll start to apply words to it. We'll start to clean it up. I did let him get away with more than I usually do in the beginning, just because I wanted to show what is really typical, for his age and his happy-go-lucky temperament, and the fact that they're loving dogs, but yet they don't really want to do what you tell them to do, so they get fussy, and that's how how they interpret that. They jump around and stuff. FYI for you guys out there teaching place, I do have videos on how to teach place that are more instructional on my YouTube channel. Make sure that unless you're dealing with a really small dog, of course, that you do have a bed that is kind of up a little higher. That way they just really get the idea of going onto a place, or you can use cots. Cots are really great too. Now that things have slowed down a bit, I am just going to kind of point out some of the things I'm doing. I'm making sure he goes around the outside of me, which actually is taking a little bit of work. He doesn't really want to spin around. He wants to spin around the opposite way, probably only because I'm asking him to go a certain way, and he wants to do the opposite. And you'll be able to see that in just a second right here. So I actually bend down a bit. Watch. See, I struggle right here. Watch. So I bend down a bit. And see, guidance, really strong guidance. I actually bend down and give that sideways guidance because he keeps wanting to spin the way that he wants to spin rather than sticking with me. So that was a really good moment that I wanted to show you guys. And then right here, see, he follows me fine this time around. I think it was a couple times later. We pause in front of place. I want to make that really clear. And then I say place, still lead him on, but I know I'm going to have to put pressure back or he'll go right off the front end of it. And then I give him his release word, which is break. I'm not asking him to sit. I'm not asking him to lay down. If he does it, it's purely by default. It's, you know, just because it's something he wants to do. There's been a lot of dogs on it, so he's been sniffing it a lot. So see, I bring him back. See, there's not a big no or bad dog or anything like that. It's just a really simple reset because it's all about guidance right now. It's all about asking him what I want him to do in a way that it's not a choice, but yet it's really slow, easy guidance. Not a lot of emotion, just really matter of fact, really clean and clear. And then once he really gets the hang of it, we'll start to incorporate some food. But this is what allows me to really judge his energy, his temperament, you know, how he deals with instruction, you know, stuff like that. So this just is a lot of value to me in these beginning stages to do these, to teach the dogs and do these drills. He's a leaner. That's what you saw me do right there, just kind of bump him off. He's a big leaner, and I don't want him leaning on me while we're working because it's a means to an end for him to try to get attention, to try to get his way. So the whole point of this is for him to not get his way anymore. And then eventually he'll start to enjoy it. Trust me, by the time we're done, he'll be more than happy to just lay on this bed and not be bothered. But literally by tomorrow, I'll be cueing sits and downs, which he already knows, and which at least I'm pretty sure he already knows, and we'll start to, you know, give space and things like that, which I'll absolutely show because he seems like a really fun dog to show these steps with. Especially because I know so many people experience this and you never get to see the in-between online. It's always, you know, the before bad behavior and the perfect after. Alright guys, Rough Beginnings Rehab, don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see.